Microba has identified inflammatory bowel disease as having a critical link to the gut microbiome. So at Microba, we're studying those relationships between these bacteria and the disease state to see if there's something that we can actually do to intervene. So can we replace an organism that's missing in the disease state, which may reduce inflammation in the indication of inflammatory bowel disease. So if we can modulate the gut microbiome to reduce inflammation, then that's an exciting prospect for sufferers of inflammatory bowel disease, because we're able to improve the length of remission, for example, or we may be able to even induce remission by modulating the gut microbiome.
Australia has one of the highest incidences of IBD worldwide. About 1 person every 250 in Australia is affected by it. And currently that's about 85,000 people Australia-wide, and that number's projected to increase to at least 100,000 in the next few years. And so it's a growing condition, and it's particularly becoming problematic in the younger demographic. And so this can have lifelong consequences that we would like to be able to deal with early in life.
One of the interesting things that we're seeing with inflammatory bowel disease, and especially in Crohn's disease, is that typically people that have Crohn's disease have a reduced ability to suppress inflammation by their gut microbiome. So we know there's some key metabolites that our gut microbiome can produce that suppress inflammation. Among those are the short-chain fatty acids like butyrate and acetate. And these are actually produced when we eat fiber. And we know that in people with Crohn's disease, they actually have a reduced potential to break down fiber, and they have a reduced potential to produce butyrate and acetate. This means that the bugs that are living in the gut, they're not able to produce these beneficial metabolites that we know are essential for a healthy gut.
IBD is characterized by a breakdown in the gastrointestinal mucosal lining and an activation of the immune system. And so we believe that microorganisms are playing a role in activating the immune system, but at the same time, they also provide a protective ability. If we can put the right organisms in place, they can protect from these pathogenic organisms becoming invasive, and they can also repress or modulate the immune system in ways that will help us control IBD.
In our data that we've gathered so far in the company, we see very clear signals for species that are either enriched or depleted in people that are suffering from IBD. So that immediately points us towards the target. And there's a lot of research going on worldwide, because this is an important disease that's affecting such a high proportion of the public and the community. And so we feel we are making our contribution to this important disease.
We do at Microba see a future where you should get your microbiome checked, maybe on an annual basis, like you would do a blood test if you're proactively well about your health. We've seen the gut microbiome now linked to that many disease states that we think it is actually a critical point in our body to measure, to understand if there is something happening there, it may be indicative of a broader problem. So we do see the future state where people will get tested regularly to make sure that they're picking up on things early, and that the doctor or the treating clinician can proactively take steps to make sure that disease doesn't eventuate too far. We believe that right now that there's value in ongoing monitoring, but we really do see a future state where that value is going to be substantially greater than it is today.